Hello everybody, it's your girl Lady Vasori in the building, and we are talking today about the Egyptian god of the dead, Anubis. Anubis. Guys, I am just not all about African orishas or just Hoodoo based deities. I actually learn and about different things. I love to read about so many different aspects of the occult, and I just don't stop at African things just because I am melanated. No, I read everything. So we are talking about the Egyptian god Anubis and 12 ways to work with the Egyptian god of the dead in this particular video. I noticed you guys like deity type of videos from the ones that I have uploaded so far. So I'm going to work on doing that type of content, as well as a lot of positive flow as well. Before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Lady Vasori. I am the owner and operator of an online spiritual botanica, and that is visionsbyvasori.com. I do a lot of client works, oracle readings. I also do life coaching. I'm also resurrecting right now at this moment an apprenticeship program, and soon to be launched. I mean, like real soon. I just got to type up everything, and once I'm done with doing that, I'll let you guys know. I'm leaning towards Patreon. And why? Because it keeps me from having to do the subscriptions and this or that, and I can do it all in one setting. I don't know yet, but wherever it's gonna end up in, it's gonna be affordable, because if you sign up for a subscription, I know that you rock with me. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Queenie B Witch, thank you for the follow. Blessings of abundance bestowed to you. I also am working so hard on updating some things in the shop. Like, take for example, I've been led to pull back on my left-handed baneful works, okay, per spirit. I make a lot of money doing those types of works, but for me, it's not all about the money all the time. It's more, I have to pull my energy back in, re-energize, and then I'll open those works back up in November. Between that time, from September the 1st through October the 31st, I will not do any baneful works for anyone. So if you are wanting me to do any baneful works, left-handed works, black magic, whatever you want to call it, you need to go ahead and get in, because I will not light any type of left-handed works after November. I don't know why I keep saying November. After September the 1st, okay? Oh, honey, messy hair hunt today, baby. This gonna have to do. We're gonna work with what we got. But yeah, I need to be able to do a lot more positive workings, because I'm not just all about negative vibes. So just to pull back and re-energize myself, my workings, my teachings, my life, I am focusing for the next month and a half, until I open those books back up, on prosperity, healing, abundance, wealth, love, positive works. So if you would like for me to do any baneful works for you, you are thinking about it, you might want to go ahead and book my time, because it will close off for in blackout. Okay, so what else I got to tell you before I get into the lesson? Special shout out. My husband told me to do this, and he was like, well, I was going to do it anyway, but he was like, baby, you should get them the special shout outs. The comments that I've been receiving that are a positive flow in my life, they are very uplifting. They are very put me in perspective type comments of my work, my passion. I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Basically, and it re-energizes me to continue on with the flow that I'm going, because sometimes in this walk, you do so many workings for people, and so you talk to people and you flow with people, but you never know how they're feeling about you, because they watch you, yes, but no one really comments, hey, your video is good or this and that, which is not needed, because I'm gonna do this anyway, because this is my passion and this is where I am supposed to be. But when people come into my space and say, Lady V or Mama Source, you really touched me, you really told me some things, and I learned from you, and I watch you, and you are a flow. I have been told, not just in comments, but I had 2 consultations, but in the last 2 days, well, I had one yesterday and one today, and the flow of it all, they stated to me they love my energy. And I'm like, wow. One person met me on TikTok and another person on my YouTube. And I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's really, really, really important for, if you love a certain practitioner or a certain worker, to let them know that. It is more, you know how you plug up your phone to charge? That is the feeling behind that. It recharges my battery, baby. It gets me on and popping. You hear me? You hear me? Okay. So, and I am not smoking weed. This here is my spirit cig. So I smoke. Bring it in. Okay? All right. So, special shout outs to Tanidra Crisp 1032. Thank you for the positive comments. I'm blowing blessings of abundance your way. Also to She Devil TV 186. Positive, all vibes, good vibes. I appreciate it. Blowing blessings of abundance your way. May you forever be blessed with love and prosperity. Also Valeria-IU10Y. Positive comments, blowing blessings of abundance your way in all totalities, from all directions, all love and prosperity. All right, guys. So let's talk about Anubis. Let's talk about Anubis, y'all. I got my look. I got coffee and water. Play with it. Y'all, when my coffee get cold, I can't drink it. It's weird. But we're talking about Anubis today. Y'all, my lips be getting dry doing these videos, honey. So, but y'all got to, you know, I got to put on my gloves. So, pull my table up. Anubis. Anubis. I also have a book here that I offer in my shop. This here is Egyptian Magic. This is available in the store. This book right here is, the preface is Egyptian Magic. It tells you about it. You have chapter 1, which is the antiquity of magical practices in Egypt. Chapter 2 is all about stones and amulets. Chapter 3 is about magical figures. Chapter 4 is all about pictures and the formulae and spells. Chapter 5 is magical names. Chapter 6, magical ceremonies. And chapter 7 is all about demon possession, dreams, ghosts, lucky and unlucky days. Talks about transformations and the worship of animals. This is a great book if you're into Egyptian knowledge, Egyptian magic, okay? Available in the shop. If I have enough time, when at the end of the video of teaching about Anubis, I'll go deeper into this book if I have some time, okay? So let's talk about Anubis and 12 ways to work with the Egyptian god of the dead. I do have my notes below, y'all, so y'all already know, so I can give you a form teaching of this particular Egyptian god. Now, Anubis is the most iconic Egyptian god. He has a mysterious pull on people worldwide. He's known as the jackal-headed god, the right hand of Osiris, and the Egyptian god of the dead. He is one of the oldest Egyptian gods, and today remains also a popular deity among magicians, witches, pagans, people in the occult, spiritualists. A lot of people attuned to Anubis. Now, who is Anubis? Who is this particular Egyptian god? Anubis is, again, one of the oldest gods of the Egyptian pantheon, whose image appears on the temple and tomb walls beginning in the first dynasty of Egypt around 3150, as well as through 2890 BCE. He is the god of mummification, the god of death, the god of the afterlife, protection, curses, and justice. It sounds like a lot like in Santeria or African spirituality. It sounds a lot like Legba, Papa Legba, or Legwa. That's what it sounds like, okay? Now, the Egyptian priests who performed the mummification process invoked Anubis in their death rituals. Dogs and jackals once dug up freshly buried corpses. And so to stop them, or to stop this from happening, the Egyptians invoked Anubis as the protector of the dead. Okay? Now, Anubis is the son of Osiris and Nephthys, though older myths say he is older than his supposed parents. Now, after he was born illegitimately, Nephthys abandoned him at the necropolis. There he was adopted and raised by jackals. When Set killed his brother Osiris, Isis and Anubis searched for Osiris. They found him dead, which led to Anubis inventing mummification and Osiris being the very first mummy. Now, Anubis is a psychopomp who guides souls from this world to the next world, or the next spiritual plane, okay? He guards the door to the Hall of Judgment and is Osiris's right-hand man when it comes time to weigh souls' hearts. A very powerful ancient deity, not to be messed with. Take your workings with him very seriously. It's thundering, y'all. Take your workings with Anubis very, very seriously, guys. For real, for real. All right. So you can connect with Anubis as you would with any other deity. I did do what was the name of that? Go back. Okay, and look at, let's see. I did a video on, where is it? Okay, here you go. How to connect with deities, how to connect with your spirit guides. Go back and look at that video. It'll tell you a lot about how to connect and just different ways of how to any deity. This is the things that you need to do when you're doing that, okay? Now, again, as you will with any other deity, You have to have profound respect and gratitude when you're working with any of these deities. He, Anubis, selects devotees who are willing to face their shadow self and who aren't afraid of spirits and death. You need to go to him with a pure heart and of pure intentions. Also, have an idea why you want to work with him, so he just might ask you those particular things, and you need to know this. You need to be 100% sure if you're working with Anubis. The first thing I'm going to tell you, some ways of how to work with him or this particular god, is to read about Anubis. Read deeply. The best way to start getting to know any deity is to read about them. I am so big on that. Even though you watch my videos, I'm going to always tell you, my understanding of things may be different than your understanding of something. So I'm going to come to you as I know it to be so. You can reread it for yourself and say, okay, this is what she meant. Or, okay, I'm taking it this way. And then you're going to have to go with the flow of how you understand it to be. Okay. It's fine to watch videos, but you need to read for yourself. Because there's some things that I'm just not going to tell you, or another spiritual worker is not going to tell you. You need to be informed totally on your own. Anubis is a god whose cult was widespread throughout the ancient world, yet he doesn't feature in too many of the Egyptian myths, if you notice that. You can still find him in books on the Egyptian pantheons. You can find him on blogs, fictional novels also feature Anubis. It just takes some research. I also highly recommend reading the Egyptian Book of the Dead to get an understanding of the practice and prayers in ancient Egypt. So the Egyptian Book of the Dead, you can find that on Amazon as well. We're going to also talk about a sacred altar space for Anubis. The next steps to working with Anubis is to set up sacred space for him and only him. An altar cloth, black and gold candles, a statue of him, incense, and an incense burner is a great place to start. Cleanse the space beforehand and invite him to it. You don't need much for Anubis. Those particular items that I just told you are easy to find. I do offer statues of said deity of Anubis. I actually offer a lot of different statues in the shop under the collection. Statues. So if you go up under statues, under the collection menu, and then click on statues, you'll find every statue that I offer. I have Anubis, I have Bastet, I have fairies, I have Lakshmi, Hecate, Isis, skulls, Hathor, Gaia, Sekhmet, Horus, Fortuna, Apollo, Aphrodite, Hera, Moon Diana, Saradwin, the Metatron angel, Thor, Odin, Ishtar, ravens. I have a plethora of different statues in the shop. Okay. Another thing is offerings for Anubis. Listen. By leaving regular offerings for a deity, you show them that your gratitude and your desire to work with them is clutch. Okay? It is similar to giving gifts to a friend or to a relative. It should be done out of love. Basically, what I'm saying, when you erect this altar, give an offering before asking for anything, period. How would you feel if someone comes to you only because they want something out of you? You do not want to make them feel this way. Anubis likes any offerings related to mummification, mummified dolls and figurines. These are great now to find in the Dollar Tree. Anubis likes figurines of himself. He also likes dogs related objects like collars, toys, in addition a fresh bowl of water. He loves incense like frankincense, myrrh, and kafir is very, very appropriate to give him. He also likes wine and beer as well. So you could place that on his altar as an offering. Hold on one second, guys. I have one of my clients that just asked me a question about some work that I'm doing for her. All right. Also, another thing that you can do for Anubis is call him by his real names. Anubis, his name is in ancient Egypt was actually called Anpu, which means to decay. A-N-P-U. Anubis came later on when the Romans adopted him. The Roman name Anubis is thought to mean royal child. Okay, you can honor him by calling him Anpu and also by his epithets, which is the first of the Westerners, Lord of the Sacred Land, Master of Secrets, or the right hand of Osiris. So you can call on him by his real names. You can also visit some mummy exhibits. You might be surprised how many preserved mummies are all over the world. Just find a museum with Egyptian type feel to it. In my area where I live, we do not have that, okay? A lot of the museums that I've known to be sold, I think it's one in Raleigh, but it's a couple of the biggest museums that I've probably is in the DC area. So I'm not sure about that, but by visiting mummies, you get a better understanding of Anubis's character and his divine duties. Also, you want to explore your beliefs about death. Okay? Anubis is the god of mummification, embalming, and of death. He presides over the death process. Therefore, explore your beliefs about death. Are you afraid of it? Do you have any hang-ups about death or traumas in your life that will prevent you from facing your beliefs in the afterlife? Now is the time to explore those taboo topics. All right? I am not, for me, let's talk. I don't pull spirits in. I would never use in a Ouija board. That is not my calling. I'm not into spirits in my home, but some people just can do that, or some energies. I do know a lot of practitioners or spiritual workers who can speak to the dead or pull spirits in. I'm just not attuned to that, okay? Number 7, he is great for shadow work. Anubis is so great for shadow work. As Anubis is the god of death in the underworld, he encourages us to face our shadow self. Our shadows are those hidden aspects of our fears, past traumas, your dislikes, and things that otherwise have been hidden from plain sight. Okay? These are the things, skeletons in your closet. These are the things behind closed doors. Shh, secrets, shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? These are the things that no one knows about us and things that we might not even know or realize about ourselves. He will pull that shit up out of you. It's painful work, but it's what I would say a necessary work. Shadow work is very much necessary to find your true self. Ask Anubis for his aid in your healing process. Doggy care, just a quick one. Anubis is the jackal-headed god, okay? We talked about that. He was raised by jackals and considers all dogs sacred. Donate your time and your energy to caring for dogs. You can go to a shelter or a rescue in his honor. Take care of your own doggies, or even donate money to a local rescue if you can. And that's a great way to honor Anubis. Another way is mountains. I love a good mountain, baby. I'm not far from the mountains in Charlotte. And Anubis is also known as he who is sacred upon mountains. Wow. Referencing the fact that wild dogs and jackals live in Egypt's hills, you could connect with Anubis by visiting a mountain, performing rituals on top of a mountain, and or you can leave an offering for him in the mountains as well. Okay? Rituals with Anubis. Big. Call on Anubis during rituals for protection. Okay? After you have honored him and given him his offerings, do not go to him saying, I need protection. First thing you do when you do not be asking for things. You want to honor him first, and then you call on him further on down the line for protection. The Romans saw Anubis as a fierce protector and placed his statues at gates and other places to protect from spirits and invaders. They also called on Anubis for justice against those who had wronged them and to help break curses. You can do the same. He will also help you find lost items via, if you have a good locator spell, call on Anubis to help you locate whatever you lost. A mask, Anubis mask as well. You can wear that. An ancient and sacred way to work with Anubis is to wear a mask in his likeness during rituals. You can make your own, or you can buy one online. Just make sure it is mostly black and looks like Anubis. His ancient priests wore Anubis's mask throughout the mummification or embalming or a funerary procession to invoke his presence, his wisdom, as well as his protection. Another one is the color black, baby. Anubis's favorite color is black, like the rich soil from the Nile River, the other world, and to match his jackal head. Wear black and incorporate black into your rituals and also in your sacred space, as well as your altar, okay? Now we're going to dive right into, let's see, I got a couple of minutes. That is all I have on Anubis, but we're going to dive into this book. Let me put my glasses on, y'all, so I can see, honey. I'm just gonna go over a couple of things from this book. Because we're talking about the Egyptian god Anubis, we're gonna talk about some other things too from this book. They have the amulet of the vulture. Interesting. This amulet was intended to cause the power of Isis as the divine mother to be a protection for the deceased, and was made of gold. in the form of a vulture hovering in the air with outstretched wings and holding in each talon the symbol of life. It gives you formulas. It gives you about Horus. It talks about Isis in deep detail. It talks about hieroglyphics in detail. It talks about the amulet of the frog, the Eye of Horus, the amulet of the heart, magical stones. It gives you just, this is a good book if you're practicing Egyptian magic, okay? All right, guys, that is it for now. The next video, we're going to dive into this book, and it is the 7 Keys to Power, y'all. I'm going to do a video talking about the book, this book, and also the Master's Book of Esoteric Law. We're going to get into that next in the next video. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, support your girl channel. It's greatly appreciated. I'm blowing blessings of abundance to each and every one of you. Don't forget visionsbiblestories.com. If I offer everything from client works, love coaching, life coaching, love works, consultations, tarot readings, all of that. Books, candles, work, rituals. If you looking for it, I probably got it. Guys, go check it out. Blowing blessings. Peace.